Hey, what is going on, everyone? I'm so glad you took your time to spend with me right here today. I am your co-host for the MRB Wrestling Review Show, Mike McRock Wilson, and we just saw TNA Impact Wrestling Live. On this episode, the show kicked off with the Tag Team Championship match. It was 2 out of 3 falls, and if Chavo and Hernandez would lose, they will no longer be a team together. And with that being said, Chavo and Hernandez regained the TNA Tag Team Champs, defeating Austin Aries and Bobby Roode. What I really liked about this match was the urgency, because knowing that this was a 2 out of 3 falls match, either team would want to get a first fall victory very quickly to gain that advantage. And I like that Dirty Heels right away got the first victory, and then Chavo rolling up his opponent for a 1-2-3 count. And what I also really like about this match is that when someone gained a pinfall, the referee would ring the bell again, signifying the next fall victory, whoever it goes to. So the little details of that match were really interesting, to say the least. And also, the other good thing that came out of that was that Chavo and Hernandez, the new TNA Tag Team Champs, really what they done was not only they won back the titles, is that they saved the tag team division, because if they lost, that would splinter off and there would be only 2 teams, which I will get to later on with Bad Influence, Kaz and Daniels, which are going to be on another segment later on in the show. But what I like is that Chavo and Hernandez really did save the tag team division by winning back the championships. I think that was the most important thing that came out of this championship match on TNA Impact Wrestling Live tonight. Joseph Park cut a really good promo in the ring, talking about his problems with aces and eights, and specifically the leader, the TNA World Champ Bully Ray. And he had a divorce paper in hand, just to put things in order with Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan, because even though they're technically still married, those two are at each other's throats, to say the least. And I like that Joseph Park really wants, not revenge is what he put it, but as justice. Joseph Park wants justice. He was on point in his promo, and I like that he wants to settle some things within the aces and eights, just to, gain the advantage to get rid of aces and eights once and for all. And I like that Devon, the television champion, interrupted because of the past history between these two. Just a few weeks ago, Joseph Park and Devon went one-on-one in a non-title match, and I like that Devon came out and interrupted Joseph Park because of that, and warned him to stay out of family business. And then when Joseph Park had that divorce paper in hand, I like that Devon came in, and the first thing he done was ripped the piece of paper, signifying that maybe Bully Ray and Brooke are still together, and they're actually a couple that has no problems. Instead of being at each other's throats, I think this is what Devon is trying to say. Maybe it was foreshadowing for the Full Metal Mayhem match, which I will also get to later on. But I like that now that I could see a future television championship match. And the also interesting thing about that is that when Hulk Hogan brought in the TV title, he said this title will be defended every week because it is the television champ. And I like that now when Devon joined the Aces and Eights. Aces and Eights signify everything against what Hulk Hogan does. So I like that championship hasn't been defended in a very long time. And that's another good thing that that has come off on this Devon turn. And now that Devon will hopefully be having a future championship match with Joseph Park, will be very, very interesting. I'm really looking forward to this future match, and we'll see what happens in the upcoming weeks. In a one-on-one Knockouts Championship match, it was Gail Kim versus Taryn Terrell. And the secondary aspect of that match was that there's also a special guest referee. Last week, Brooke Hogan got Joey Ryan to do a tag team match. That wasn't the right decision, Brooke thought, and now she got ODB to be the referee for the Knockouts division. I don't know if it's going to continue for the weeks to come in the Knockouts division, but I do like that ODB was the referee because, let's face it, she called most things Joey Ryan didn't call last week. ODB counted 5 counts when Gail Kim had Taryn Terrell on the ropes. When you know how a referee is supposed to call a 5 count, and if it goes to 5, Gail Kim gets disqualified. So I like that ODB done that. I like that ODB actually caused some near falls as well as some countouts when they went outside, and everything else that a ref is supposed to call. So I like that something good came out of that, and I also like that Taryn Terrell got the pin over Gail Kim. It really didn't matter if Gail Kim win or lost, because Gail Kim is making the other knockouts now look good. And because Gail Kim is at that level, she's like the female version of Chris Jericho, which is something that I said in a past review of TNA. So I like that Taryn Terrell got the victory now. There's a number 1 contenders match next week for the Knockouts Championship. It'll be Mickie James versus Brooke Tazmacher. So I like that Taryn Terrell is not gaining a Knockouts Championship match because it'll be too soon, and it's smart on the part of TNA in the Knockouts division. In the backstage segment, Anderson was, for some weird reason, I get the feeling that there's going to be a future one-on-one match with Anderson and AJ Styles if AJ does go good in his decision. Because if that would have happened, Anderson would be at his throat, because Anderson keeps talking to AJ about joining Aces and Eights, and that would really piss him off. So I really wouldn't mind seeing that one-on-one confrontation if it does happen. But what I do like is what happened inside the ring when Hulk Hogan gave AJ Styles an ultimatum. And when AJ said he don't respond well to ultimatums, James Storm interrupted before AJ made a decision, ? And told AJ he was out here to fight you. He was there to fight AJ Styles. And I'm wondering why would Storm, what's the logic in James Storm wanting to fight AJ Styles when he has to make a decision based on what Hulk Hogan has given him and what Anderson gave him? And what was interesting was that Kaz and Daniels came out, and they were very on point on some of the things that they said about AJ Styles if he were to join Aces and Eights, if he were to join Team Hogan, that they would use him and spit him out. So it would be a lose-lose situation for AJ, maybe. And I also like that Daniels gave AJ a proposition into joining the two of them. And what I like about that is, it's not that, even though I like that now Daniels and Kaz gave AJ a choice to join them, what I like is that he has a choice to join them, he has a choice to choose Team Hogan, and he also has to choose Team Aces and Eights. And based out of those 3 decisions, I really don't know where this is going. I'm really split with this right now because It creates a more believable story, and we'll see how it goes with AJ Styles, what he will decide. And I like that there's a third option, because right now it makes the AJ Styles character more conflicted than ever. So I like that something excellent came out of that. So I'm 25% split on this, or no, not 25, 33. 100 divided by 3. There's 3 choices, so I'm really yay percent on all 3 choices. I really don't know where this is going for AJ Styles, but I think I'm leaning towards AJ joining Kaz and Daniels for some reason. I like that decision because I can't really... It's hard to see AJ Styles joining Aces and Eights, and yet when he comes out, he has this... his dress code, his jeans, and a leather jacket with his AJ logo as a sweater, and he has a beard and messy hair. I mean, Aces and Eights is written all over his attire almost, but in the same time, he carries out the Aces and Eights jacket, signifying that he could join Aces and Eights. But once he drops that jacket, you'll know if he will not join Team Aces and Eights because of that reason. And that's why he's carrying that jacket the way he's carrying it. He don't have it on, but it's the way he's carrying it, and the way he's carrying himself is just so amazing right now, because it's a 3-way split here. I could go on and on about this, but unfortunately I have to get to the next stage on the next segment of TNA Impact Wrestling. And in the backstage interview with Kurt Angle, he challenged Garrett Bischoff. I almost called Garrett Eric. Kurt Angle challenged Garrett Bischoff and Wes Briscoe, the 2 punks, he says, that turned on him and joined Aces and Eights. I like that because Kurt Angle wants to get revenge on the 2 guys that turned on him. It makes sense, right? And I also like that now that Garrett and Briscoe can benefit from this match because they're facing arguably the best wrestler in the world, and what a great way to solidify themselves by facing the greatest wrestler in the world. That alone speaks volumes, and I like that this match will happen next week. Also, when Joey Ryan was talking to Brooke backstage, and she told him that you're gonna have a match. You don't know who you don't know who's gonna face you. I mean, you don't know who you're going to face. I mean, again, and I like that because it's a mystery, right? And she said it was going to be someone bigger than you. Well, of course, there's a lot of people are bigger, a lot of wrestlers bigger than Joey Ryan. I like that he faced Rob Terry because, geez, this guy's a freak, right? They call him the Freak, Rob Terry. The little things I like. I like the Rob Terry's Titron. It's almost reminiscent to the Terminator. And when you see Rob Terry, you think, this guy's a young Arnold Schwarzenegger almost. So I like the little things like that about Rob Terry. And Rob Terry got the win. Joey Ryan, even though it don't matter if Joey Ryan wins or loses, he always looks good. It don't matter if he wins or loses. Joey Ryan looks amazing no matter what the situation is inside the ring. Especially last week when Taryn Terrell gave him a low blow, Joey Ryan looked good. And that's really the most important thing with Joey Ryan is in the wrestling ring. Also last night, Matt Morgan, always on point. When he told Hulk Hogan he keeps making the same mistakes over and over. A Hogan mistake, a Hogan mistake, a Hogan mistake. Where he talked about Sting last week. And when he said he's keeping the mistakes coming, he referenced his daughter, Brooke Hogan. And I'm wondering where this is going for Matt Morgan. I don't think he will join Aces and Eights. I think that he's the guy that will always tell Hulk Hogan, you're making a mistake, and I like it. Because it creates this interesting story where someone has to question Hulk Hogan's leadership. And I like that someone has to do it, and who better really than Matt Morgan to do that? I mean, really. He's a giant. So, and even Hulk Hogan's face speaks for itself because it really feels like he's really imitated by Matt Morgan. I mean, who wouldn't be? He's a giant, 7 foot tall, 320 pounder, and with a massive beard. It's a wonder he's not with Aces and Eights, right? But it's interesting because, yet again, I can't see Matt Morgan joining Aces and Eights. He's the guy that keeps, I'm repeating myself again, he keeps telling Hulk Hogan he makes the same mistakes over and over. There's always someone telling the leader you're making a mistake, and I like what TNA Impact Wrestling is doing on their program. Gut check. The biggest fail on TNA. Thumbs down. There are a couple of reasons why. It was a lose-lose situation. Bruce Pritchard told Adam Pearce that he has 17 years in the business. But he failed to mention Magno's 14-year reign in the wrestling business. And I thought that was a little off, because he told Magno he's got his whole career ahead of him. And with Adam Pearce, his time is almost up. But come on, there's only a 3-year difference there. That really didn't make sense what Bruce Pritchard was saying. And what was very surprising was that Adam Pearce wouldn't face the judges inside the ring with gut check. He got eliminated. That really surprised me, because I thought in the wrestling match he had with Magno, he was the one that didn't make as much actually, Adam Pearce never really made a mistake in that match. Magno had a lot of mistakes made in that match, and the way Adam Pearce was wrestling was just flawless. It was very reminiscent of Triple H, with an old school vibe to his wrestling. And oh man, I was shocked when I actually seen that Magno was going through to face the gut check judges. Very surprising, because Adam Pearce really was the better wrestler out of the two. I'm shocked. I have no idea what happened. TNA, gut check, you failed this week. And again, a lose-lose situation. When Magno was in the ring and faced the judges, automatically he got 2 no's, so the other judge really didn't matter. So, it's a majority vote. Again, lose-lose situation. I think what should have happened was that Adam Pearce should have went through, faced the gut check judges, and got all 3 yeses. Because he was the guy, I think, that really should have went through out of those 2 superstars in gut check. I'm very disappointed in this week's gut check. Sorry, TNA. 2 thumbs down. But what made up for it was the main event. It was a Full Metal Mayhem match when Jeff Hardy challenged Bully Ray for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. That was a brutal match. A lot of bumps, a lot of guts. I'd say some bones broken. Jeez, that was a tremendous match. I'm surprised, though, that there wasn't a lot of more weapons that were involved. They could have used some thumbtacks, barbed wire, glass, anything. A lot of more metal weapons. But I like that the end result was with a hammer. That came excellent out of that match. Because what happened was that Taz had the hammer on the commentary booth and gave it to Bully Ray to use to hit Jeff Hardy as he almost grabbed the world title and dropped down through a table, and Bully Ray got the victory. Really, a Full Metal Mayhem match is basically a TLC match where you have to climb the ladder to get the championship. So it was really a normal TLC match, but I like that at least there was a hammer involved, so at least there was another weapon used in that match, even though it was only for a second. I like that happening because it needed that. And there was something very off during that last match, and it had to do with censorship. I'm surprised that, okay, I know when someone is singing that, even sitting at ringside, you know, especially Brooke Hogan, that, you know, you're going to expect, you know, Brooke Hogan to react to what Bully Ray has been saying to her and what he's doing when the two of them are neck and neck outside the ring, and she pulls out the middle finger, and the TNA never censored that. And what was interesting was that when the audience was chanting, "Holy shit! Holy shit!" they censored that. That was weird. A little off. I really don't understand how they would miss Brooke Hogan giving Bully Ray the middle finger, because it is a written script, and I don't know if they actually expected Brooke to actually do that. But I guess they did expect the audience to actually chant that, because the way that move was executed through the table, outside the ring, the Swanton on Bully Ray. I mean, really, what else do you expect the audience to say, really? This is awesome, TNA, sure. But holy shit, absolutely, because they censored that. And I'm just a little baffled that they didn't censor the Brooks middle finger to Bully Ray. That's just weird. But out of that show, I would give it a good 8 out of 10, because a lot of great things happened, except for the gut check, of course. And of course the last match, whoa, brutal, amazing, tremendous. And Bully Ray is still the TNA World Heavyweight Champ when he cut a short-length promo after his match. Well, that was my review of TNA Impact Wrestling. I'm your co-host for the MRB Wrestling Review Show, Mike McRock Wilson, signing out. Get plenty of rest. And always do your best.